Some time ago I posted a review of my Shure SE846 on Reddit, and somebody left a positive opinion of the JDS Labs Atom headphone amplifier. And he told me that a separated amplifier could benefit the performance of over-ear headphones. He told me that my Shure SRH1540 could sound a lot better with it. I heard about JDS Labs previously, but I've never been to their webpage and never seen their entire products. JDS Labs is known for making affordable but good products. I contacted the company for making a review of the amp if they provide me a unit. You know, I was so intrigued by the results that it might deliver. Right off the bat, the customer support of JDS Labs is outstanding, and that's a very good thing to have. You know, the brand of my DAP, Astel & Kern, is very well known for making very good products, very precise, that sound very good, but the customer support is not as good as you might think. It's very good to have a good customer support because if there's something wrong with your unit, you have somebody to talk with. After 1 week, the amp arrived at my home. I had obviously read some reviews online previously. There's a lot of people that complains about the build quality that this amp has. I haven't mentioned this before, but JDS Labs manufactures 100% of their products in the US. The shell of the amp is made by an injection molding technique. There are lots of people complaining that this thing is made out of plastic and it feels cheap while holding it. I can assure you that this doesn't feel cheap at all. This feels pretty solid. I had no issues with that whatsoever. For the listening test, the sources I used were Astel & Kern AK70 for streaming FLAC lossless files, Project Debut Carbon Turntable for analog formats, Siki U Vision for digital physical formats, and a Pioneer amp for using the Atom as a preamp. And the output source of the audio were Shure SRH1540, Shure SE846, loudspeakers Tynoy Eclipse 3. Before telling you my opinion about the sound of the amp, I want to tell you the importance of having a separate amp in the audio system. First of all, how are you listening to your music? The vast majority of people are using smartphones for that task. If you think that your small device can hold cameras, flashlight, NFC, memory, touchscreen, all those things, and they also have space to have a good amp, well, the reality is that smartphones are very good for making a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that they are the best in making every single one of them. I mean, think about it. Look at all the space that a separated, decent amplifier needs. Think about two things that makes an amp deliver the sound better than any smartphone: dimensions and a separated power supply. Maybe by now I convinced you that an amplifier is needed for reproducing music in high quality. Let's talk now about the Atom amplifier. Oh my god, that was the first impression that came into my mind while listening to the Atom. The sound that comes out of this amplifier is so damn powerful. For me, the two key factors of the quality of a sound are the separation of layers, the drums, the guitar, the synths, the trumpets, all the layers of music. If they are separated, that's a good quality sound. This is what I call the presentation of the sound, and for me this job is made by the DAC. They decode the audio from digital and they present it to you. And another key factor is how those instruments sound, and that's where the amp steps in. When the layers of the sound are separated, that gives you a three-dimensional effect in your head. And if those instruments sound very good with a lot of power, the three-dimensional effect will be more evident in your head. And for delivering power, this amp makes his job pretty damn good. I would like to share with you guys a little geek audio experience that happened to me with the Atom amp. One of my favorite bands is Avenged Sevenfold, and an album that I like a lot is Nightmare. For me, it is a masterpiece. When Hail to the King came out, the album after Nightmare, I liked it, but I always preferred Nightmare. I like Nightmare better in lyrics, song structure, instrumentation, well, everything. Then I listened to both albums with my dad, and with my Shure SRH 1540. After hearing the albums few times, I came to the conclusion that even though I liked Nightmare better before, Hail to the King sounded way better. And it's normal because it's a later album. They have more money for investing in production and mastering. I thought that was it, right? Pretty simple. Well, but not so simple. Then I added the Atom to the equation. And boy, what I was missing. An album like Nightmare requires a lot of power, and the power was served. This experience opened my eyes, well, really my ears. I began to listen to a lot of metal bands with the amp. Bands like Gojira, Power Trip, Slipknot, Phantomas, so on and so forth. The benefits of the amp were more noticeable in metal music for me, but you can clearly hear the difference also in other music styles. I'm listening to Ennio Morricone, Daft Punk, Michael Jackson, Pink Floyd, Tool, Eminem, the list goes on and on. Just to give you an idea about the amount of power that this amp delivers, I never needed to turn up the volume higher than this. And the impedance of my Shures is 37 ohms, making them not a very easy headphones to drive. They're not hard to drive, but not so easy either. I will give you a quick tip that worked for me. If you're using a DAC or any source that allows you to control the volume, set it closer to the maximum level. Then control it once again with the Atom. For me, that made the best results. For me, the best way to listen to music is in concert. Yeah, assuming that the band has a very good equipment and sound engineer, the venue is suitable and it has good acoustic, that the band is not very drunk and that they won't pass out. Assuming that all that is okay, live sound is the ultimate way for enjoying music. And adding the Atom amp in my sound equipment puts me a step forward in that direction. When listening to songs with the Atom amplifier, I begin to headbang without noticing it, just like I will do in a gig, and that makes me very happy. One feature that most people don't take advantage with the Atom amp is that it can be used as a preamp. I plugged it on my turntable before connecting it to the amp. The difference of the sound in this case was substantial as well. Making the low signal of the analog source bigger makes the job of the amp way easier. You can feel how your loudspeaker can move sound with less effort. If I don't use the preamp, all the job is made by the main amp. That will result in having undesirable noise in the final result. I will talk about the importance of having a preamp in a separate video in the future. The reality is that no one will complain about the Atom amp about anything that really matters. Some people will say that it's made out of plastic, some other people will say that it's very lightweight. The reality is that this amp costs 99 bucks, it's made in the US, and it delivers a lot of power. This is what I will define the perfect under $100 headphone amplifier. Thank you for watching this review. If you have any question whatsoever, put it in the comment section and I will be sure to answer it.